Steven here with KT's All-Star Gymnastics in Santa Maria, California. Gonna go over some ways to get better at your splits and stretches from home. We're gonna go over the 7 stretches that I use the most with the boys team. The girls team uses these a lot as well, and they'll be useful for anyone trying to get better at their stretches and splits at home. All right, so I'm gonna start with our German stretch, which we often refer to as just the shoulder stretch in practice, but you're going to try to bring your hands behind you. And I've got this mat here so I can grab the edge of this mat. That's what we're going to do to help ourselves get better. You could also do something like grab the edge of the carpet. If you've got a carpet edge you can grab or anything else, you could have a parent hold your hands. The point is, try to keep your hands close together. Get them in a place where they're stuck close together and they're not going to slide apart. And then pull your bottom out away from your hands as far as you can into that German stretch. If you're not feeling enough stretch, another great way to get some more stretch in your shoulders is to pull your head back and try to look up at the ceiling. Alright, the next one I'm going to take you guys to is our right and left leg splits. So for our right and left leg splits, I like to make sure I always go through the positions. So I get my knee directly under my bottom here, and this leg straight out in front. I don't let that leg slide and I don't bend it. I just bring my nose to my knee for position number 1. This helps me get ready for that split. Position number 2, I sit up tall, put my weight over my bottom and try to push my bottom towards this heel up here. And then position 3 requires good balance. I grab my back foot and pull it in towards my rear and try to do almost the same thing I did in position 2, but it'll get a little more stretch back in here. Then what we're going to do is slide out into our split. But what I see a lot in our splits is we put our weight on our hands and lean forward over them, and then we don't get weight over our midsection and our hips, which are the thing that is the farthest from the ground in the split that we're trying to get on the ground. So we want to try to keep our chest up. The way I encourage you guys to try to keep your chest up is to hold something over your head like this. Okay, because now I can already feel my feet and my foot and my knee back here sliding further apart because I can't resist it. Gravity's taken over and I can't do anything to resist it with this over my head. Same thing on the other side. I go through first position, second position, and third position. Then I slide out and hold this up over my head. Alright, so that's right and left leg splits. Then I'm going to move on to Pike Stretch. So for a Pike Stretch, I'm going to suggest just like right and left leg split, we're going to use gravity. But the best way to use gravity in a Pike Stretch is to stand up. Alright, so you stand up and you can just hang down into it. You can even hug your legs and pull in tight to get a better stretch. Another great way to use gravity to your advantage is to do something like this. Get some weights. Take them just over your head and hang down and let the weight help pull you down. Alright. Then pancakes. For pancakes, I want to sit in a straddle. I don't want it to be a middle split type straddle. I want it to be about 90 degrees to 100 degrees. Alright, so 90 degrees meaning half of a square. Alright, so if I can imagine the shape of a square, my legs want to be 1/2 of that square. I could also go a tiny bit wider if I need to. That's okay. Then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to grab the foot of the couch here. So I want to be where I can reach that. But once I can reach that, I'm going to pull myself down using the couch. Alright, now most of you guys are small enough that you won't be able to move your couch when you pull on it, so that's not a very big worry, but if you can, you'll just have to find something heavier, like perhaps a parent to grab their hands on and pull yourself down using them. Alright, Now on to bridge. So for a bridge, I'm going to use a wall usually. In this case, I'll just use the couch here. And I'm going to put my hands as close to it as I can so they're all the way up against it. And then my feet here. And that way my hands won't slide out from under me, because that's the problem I typically have in my bridge. And I see that with a lot of kids. They just can't keep their hands still when they're in their bridge. So having something for their hands to rest on so that they won't move, so they can just focus on pushing, it makes it a lot easier to get better at this stretch. All right, so I can bridge up like that, and I push, try to push my arms straight, and then try to push my legs straight, pushing towards the couch with my legs. That's because the goal in a bridge is to have my shoulders directly above my wrists and my legs totally straight. So it makes a shape kind of like that. Okay? We used to call it just like a teardrop that tipped over on its side. So you want to be trying to push back that way, like that, into your bridge to get that one correct. And then the last one is for middle splits. Once again, for the middle splits, I'm going to suggest we use a wall. I don't have a good wall in this room that I can use for this, so I'm going to have to just explain it as best I can from this point of view. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that my bottom and my heels are up against the wall when I go for my middle split. All right, and when I slide out, I want to keep them all pressed against the wall. If my bottom comes off the wall, then I'm leaning too far forward. If my bottom is on the wall but my feet aren't, then I'm leaning too far back. I want a straight line from my bottom to each leg. So that's why I want them pressed against the wall. Then I slide out as far as I can against the wall, and I get on my elbows to get rid of some of the resistance that I can do and let gravity help pull me down more. For some of you guys, though, that won't even be enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to hug the floor like this, so that you have nothing you can resist with as you go down into your splits. All right. So I hope this helps you guys to get a little better at your splits. That's going to be the easiest thing to get better at while we're stuck at home, unable to go to practices in the gym. So make sure you take advantage of this time. You can still get better even while you're home, especially at your splits. All right. Make sure you guys talk to your parents before posting anything online, and be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with another strength workout. Later.